I'm Easy, and today we're going to be doing our daily polls on Star Trek Fleet Command. We're going to be going over everything you should be doing every day to pull as much resources as possible and just get the most out of the game. So let's get started here. Let's do that first. First, I'm going to click on the chest there to the right. Just claim all across the board here. That's just going to throw a whole bunch of resources at you right off the bat. Come on. Sometimes it gets a little caught up there. But over here to the left, these are from the silent enemies. We'll be going over those another time, a little more in depth. This is just kind of an overall thing about pulling everything. And those last ones there, they come from the formation armadas. We'll be going over those as well. Get some archive stuff over here. Pretty much everything there. And these are general resource packs for anyone that actually buys. The elite packs, the dailies, all that fun stuff. None of those, so I'm going to keep on going here. These are the Armada packs, just from doing the regular Federation, Klingon, Romulan stuff. So I'm just going to go ahead and get all these, just do the max pull on everything I can. Get all the resources there, a bunch of credits, repair tokens, just going through everything. Now getting all these resources are definitely going to help me out later in the day, and this will maximize my gameplay. So anyone doing free to play should definitely be doing this every day and getting people to help out with their armada so they can get those bigger chests, because it will have a big impact on your growth. So just skipping these daily is a terrible idea overall. And these resources come from building as well as away teams. Some more stuff to go over later. All that stuff is shut off for the TC reset, so I need to skip that. And multiphasic. And the archive here, or the archive. This will only be here if you finished up ships, so all my ships are done, so I can just claim that right away. The same thing with the Syndicate, so getting that Syndicate XP will unlock more things for you. And then we're over to the refinery here, and same thing, just getting your miners out. When you're doing your mining, you definitely want to stick to those token zones, that way you can just get as much as possible with each pass. The more passes you make, skipping stuff from time to time is alright, but anytime you get out there and actually do it, you just want to pull as much as possible. So it is worth skipping every so often, but it's not really good if you want to make a habit of it, because you definitely want to be doing all these pulls every time you can, just to maximize all the resources you get. Same thing with the ship parts. We'll go over some good places on where you can get those in the future as well. And actually, the place where you get those, you can get a lot of Federation credits, a lot of Klingon credits, all that fun stuff, as well as a lot of rep. But here, this is all the Revenant ship, so that where all these resources come from by doing the Borg solo armadas, the newer ones, not the older ones. And same thing, just grinding out all that stuff. We'll go over which ship that is and where to get all these resources as well as later. But just right now, it's just grabbing everything we can as quickly as we can, just going through it. And there is a lot to go through here. So this entire time it's just been grabbing as much as possible. And it's on a cycle every day. So every day you come in, you get all this, and you just do your max pulls as best you can. If you have to skip something, just kind of set it off to the side. It is best to do if you're going to try to keep everything on the same time frame, on the same cooldown. That way you can just get in there and get it all done. That's generally what I try to do, and then when I run out of something, then I'll just go farm that day, and then just hold off until the next time it comes around, and then I'll go back to just doing my full pulls. Just getting everything maxed out as consistently as possible. So I do know I'm going kind of fast here, but it will make a little more sense once you get a little more in depth or run into this stuff already. Because not having seen it before is definitely going to mess with you. But once we go into it and actually do everything specifically on where to get each resources, ways to maximize resources, it'll definitely help you out in the long run. Oof. There is just quite a bit here. This stuff we're just going to leave alone for now. Just going to let that gather up a little bit. It's nothing that expires or has a daily cooldown, so it's not anything you have to worry about. But over here, there are other things. So doing these pulls, depending on how many you have, it doesn't hurt to do them daily, because I mean the resources are part of your dailies anyways, just your daily missions. But if you have so much already where you just don't even need it, it's just like you can either do it or you can't. I'm just so far ahead where I generally just skip it most days anyways. Now we're in the Gorn section already. And selecting these, you just kind of want to go with whatever ship you're working on. So I think I'm still working on my, what is it, whatever ship it is. I'm still working on that one though, so I generally just pull the 4-star for that resource and just kind of use that for it until it gets up, and then I'll work on the next one and the next one. But being that it's just 4-star, it's not that big of a deal on what you grab if you mess that one up at all. Let's see, NX014 or 10. There we go. Did I mess that up? I did. Yeah, I almost did a single pull on one of those. Just going through it. That's alright. Can't get it perfect every time. But all these resources are very important to your progression, especially if you're free to play. Cannot stress that enough. And we're already on the faction store here. For the faction store, I actually like to pull these down here. Whatever tokens I can for recruiting daily. So I'll pull these for actually every faction just to get more transporter tokens, just to have. So I generally just go through these well and grab them for each faction, just whatever the 11k pack is. You know, it really comes down to how many credits you get per day. So if you can spare, you know, the 4,000 or whatever it is that I spend, you know, go for it. If not, there are smaller packs too. So I always recommend doing that if you can afford it, because that will help you unlock characters later on, or just max any that you haven't done yet or been neglecting whenever they pop into that transporter. I still click on this, but it's old stuff. That all got removed, and that's all in the archive now. It's just a force of habit. Just going through this, but if you stick with it, you do it enough, you can knock these out pretty quick. And you generally don't even think about it while you're doing it. You're just kind of going right through them, just pulling everything you can. And everything farms, so you're just max pulling nonstop. Or like right there. It's not something I use at all anymore, but I can still make pulls on it. And we're at the Bajoran already. All this Defiant stuff. Really don't use that ship too often. I really don't go into Dominion too often. The only real time that I go in there is if I need to get some tokens to do the Armada chests that they have. But other than that, the research and everything else, I can just max pull. So I'm not too worried about it, getting those resources from these two. It just doesn't take much. It just depends really on where you're at in the game. Let's see, yep, these are the Armada ones, so I already have to get those done again. So I'll be doing that. Just grind out a bunch of these Armadas. I can't forget that one. And then the mining tokens here to get into that token space, the 4-star, the 5-star, it's definitely something you want. And then the officer pack, we still need that. And X-Borg, NX01. Really helps out with this store. So if you don't have the NX01, you're definitely going to want to get that. And when you do get it, there is a skin in the refinery. You definitely don't want to forget that, because unlocking that skin, especially the sooner the better with that, because that skin will give you an extra token to get into that space for the Zindies, what you grind on for the NX01. But getting all these credits is just unbelievably easy once you have the NX01. And getting all these pulls done, I just cannot stress it enough. It is absolutely going to help you out in the long run. Whether you pay or if you just... I'm going to do some solo runs too. If you pay or if you're free to play. There's just so much that you're missing out on by not doing this. And I've been seeing it lately where there's just so many people not doing this, and it's just an unbelievable amount of resources that you're just passing up. See right here, I'm already missing some right now. Like both those things, you're definitely going to get. Like right there. That is something you want. So all those DTI Armadas, you're getting bonus loot just from having that thing. Right here, you're doing more damage just by having this one. And up here, cost efficiency on your G5 ships. Cost efficiency on your G6. And then this one here, the apex barrier if you're just random hostiles, so that's definitely handy to have. Not something you want to prioritize, but you would want it eventually for sure. We're just going to keep on pulling for now. We'll go into more depth later on with most of this. Just section by section. And if there's anything that you want me to go over sooner or another, just let me know and I'll get that up as quick as I can. Because getting these things done is what really counts. Just skipping this stuff is just, it's terrible. Is it this one? No. I thought I pulled some of those. Okay, so right here, I'm a little short to get the one of those, so I'm going to go ahead and convert a little bit of these right here just to get it out of the way. And then I'm going to have to go do some farming for the DTI as well. But getting these two things on cooldown is something you want to do. So if you're running low, just you want to prioritize those guys because it's almost a week there. 6 days on the cooldown for that, so definitely want to start that up as quickly as you can. I'm just going to single pull that just to get this out of the way today. And that looks like we did it all. So we went over the chest, the archive, the syndicate up here, and the faction store with all the tabs. So that is it for today, and if there is anything that you want me to go over, just let me know and I'll get right on it. Thanks guys, I'll see you later.